know those
Yeah,
guys.
I think so.
We don't know those guys. Not in this region. Get them out of here. Only Shopify Rebellion. Nevertheless, moving on, game one. John, if I may add to your point, not only has he taken a game, I believe Wildcard have a good chance at taking a game off the side of Shopify Rebellion. I don't think the odds reflect how close this matchup could be. Though I might be swallowing my words very soon because we might have a first blood incoming. Bottom lane, Arbit. He's going to front line. Sunlight going to be just fine to avoid that and break the smoke. And Shopify Rebellion not going to find exactly what they wanted. Perhaps they could find Flea, though. Arbit's still having a look around.
They have a ward.
30 seconds to
Flea will see him. Pings out, but the problem is Flea is on the other side of the map, and he is kind of getting pincered in. Crit around the corner. Not going to bother trying to go for any form of a bushwhack, and that seems like that's going to be enough. Shopify, they're not going to try.
Yeah, a bit of wasted time. They might lose a bounty room for their trouble. So you might have a little bit of a better start for Wildcard. Going back to the point about the odds, I feel like this is the most... This game one kind of dictates just how close those odds should be. Because this is, again, a pretty good aggressive draft from Wildcards. I think this is something they're comfy with. We're seeing the Sammy Naga 5 that he played a lot of in the Wildcard qualifiers. So I feel like this is, again, probably their best shot. If they do take this game one, then those odds are completely wrong. If Shopify Rebellion does manage to take this out and just play a lot better, then I think the odds would be justified. So game one is kind of where the truth is figured out.
Absolutely. Well, we'll start with the mid lane here, Jonathan. We've got Babbage, of course, against Arbed. Thiuth was talking about this on the panel, but Babbage probably going to have a very good game. And when you look at the draft of Wildcard, you tend to agree with Fear on this, right? Because with their draft, you do rely on this Primal Beast to be able to set the pace, set a tempo, to really allow, is what I'm trying to say, his team to really take off. And it's just going to be very important for him to, at the very least, have a decent laning stage.
Yeah, I think the matchup is pretty alright for Primal Beast. It's a melee hero. Trading with Primal Beast just builds up the uproar. You kind of feel good about that. Abed can kind of dodge out with the snowball, of course, and the shards, depending on the spell usage of Babbage. And he does have to watch those shards, but it's pretty hard to out-damage and really whittle down a Primal Beast. He's just super durable, and you're not as durable on Abed.
I believe we have a video with Fly here, so we'll have a chat with Fly very, very soon. We'll bring up the video right now, in fact, and see what he had to say.
Having a new organization backing us with Shopify Rebellion, it's a really refreshing thing for our team. Sometimes you need player changes, but something as changing an organization can give you a whole new perspective, a whole new set of tools to improve your team, yourself, and to build a really good relationship. And I think that's super important. So I think this is really something really helpful for us.
Well, there you go. There was Fly talking, and he appreciates New Org. I do agree with that as well, right? Sometimes you just need something to change, and well, for now, at the very least, Shopify, they do believe that might just be the spark they needed.
Yeah, maybe, just changing environments does a lot, changing what your org expects from you and how they support you, as Fly has said. It does provide quite a different perspective, especially for a team as mature as Shopify Rebellion. So, well, their first series did go their way. Maybe a little bit shakier than some expected. We'll have to see just how much more of those changes come through here for Shopify Rebellion. For Wildcard right now, we did see them take their series up against Fate, but it was a lot more back and forth. I think the game 2 last night was very interesting in terms of draft experimentation. Lots of aggression down mid here.
Well, there certainly is. We'll see what this pans out to be. But he's in a bit of trouble, but for now it's going to be fine. Meanwhile, bottom lane, a bit of action was breaking out as well, but nobody dying there either. Just action across the whole map. Teasy trying to get a bit of harassment back onto Sunlight, but going to be just fine to back himself off. You got to appreciate the aggression from Babbage, because again, he does need to at the very least even out the lane, preferably win the lane if he can on this Primal Beast, and if you could find a kill on Arbed, that would pretty much win him out the lane.
Yeah, he's been really getting aggressive. He's had the nice early spike for the Primal Beast where you just do a lot of damage with the Onslaught and the Trample. It's really easy to clear out the waves as well, shove it out, and try to dive the tower. We're not quite seeing connection from the supports yet, but it is a tad bit early, so you don't really expect too much rotations coming out. and you just kind of want to stabilize the side lanes. On the side lanes, it has been looking pretty damn good for Arc, although...
Yeah, you say that, Johnny. He's in a bit of danger now. Saberlight going to chase him down.
Oh,
Hands
blocks.
up. Arc still trying to run. One more click will do it. Saberlight, he'll go for the dive in and does secure first blood. No doubt that Saberlight's going to dive on. This man is a Giga Chad. We all know it.
That was one hell of a melee attack, if I do say so myself.
He's got some long hands.
Yeah, that's a really long punch from Saberlight still. You know, you're very happy about that first blood. And Arc was having a really good lane, right? Like, again, the panel pointed out Lina doesn't really care too much about the darks here, but they managed to just get aggressive, get on top, get the stuns, and just melt through Arc. He's got to be a little bit cautious about that positioning. He does want that early start, although down bot is also really aggressive.
Yeah, they're trying to get a bit of aggression here onto Fly. Bash is there. Flea, how much luckier can you get? Not too much more. Doesn't get the secondary bash in a row. Doesn't really matter, though. They're just trying to assert dominance in the lane, I would argue, and for now, they're just doing a great job of it. Arteezy still farming very well, however, 21 and 11 on that Void. See how this all pans out. It seems like it is kind of hard to slow down the Void when you're playing DPSB, right? Like, you can't really lock him down too long.
I mean, you could if you get bashes in a row, you know, but not very likely for you to find that opportunity. Crit's pretty damn low. Sammy's doing a great job of just kind of harassing out that support here.
Yeah, he's going to be all right, though. Saberlight, he does move in, and it's kind of the thing, right? Against the Nagasara, and the Darkseid has a great old time. Sammy barely getting away for now, but the Surge is there, but won't chase. Saberlight does back off. It was only a level 1 Surge. Doesn't want to dive too deep. Will be able to back himself off just fine. So 1-0 so far. No more kills happening quite yet, though. Bottom lane, Sunlight. Oh, he's barely going to survive.
Oh my God.
Just barely. He'll be all right.
Yeah, just living on the edge. Can be able to TP home and reset. We did see Babitich try to rotate up top as well, but he just walks down back to mid. So he has given Abed a little bit of room and just maybe a wave or a half just to get that.
Yeah, Sammy, top lane, once again, does end up dropping. It's, again, very, very hard, because if Saberlight can get close, the Nagasaran can't do too much about it. So again, Sammy being punished here on the Nagasaran, and Saberlight will be very, very happy with that bonus gold coming in on the Darkseid. His second kill of the game already. And it seems like a very strong lane up at top lane. In fact, every lane for Shopify Rebellion so far seems very, very potent. Sammy's going to make his way back up top, but again, there's just really not much he can do.
Nah, it's frustrating, right? You have this combination where the ensnare into Light Strike Array with Arc, but you're not really able to jump onto Crit. And if you try on Saberlight, you're right up by the creep wave. Iron Shells are on. You will melt at this point, even just with the level 2 shells. And Crit's been doing a fantastic job of just nailing these stuns every time. Sammy does have a Quelling Blade, but it's pretty difficult to target the specific tree it's going to try to stick to in a nice tick tree line. They haven't really cleared out that side.
Absolutely. Babitich drawing out a line there throughout the top lane, so it looks like this Primal Beast does want to rotate. You have hit that level 6 mark, so he does have Pulverize up. Question is, can he find the target he wants? Well, with Sammy there with the ensnare, you certainly can. Light Strike Array will set up as well. Even Flea coming in just to really make sure they take this man down. The Pulverize will fly out onto Crit. Still Abed. Very strong rotation. Does find that position 1 Lina. And considering how many heroes you've rotated up top, that's a win for Shopify Rebellion. Pos 3 for a Pos 1, and they only require 2 heroes to get it done. Not great news at all for Wildcard as Abed just keeps going for more. That's a double. Can he find another? Sammy, I don't think you can go for this fight, Sammy. He's going to try. Abed, he'll be the one to back off here with the snowball and be just fine. So they cannot punish in an immediate smoke straight out. Shopify Rebellion, they are not done. Right into the mid lane they go. See if they can find Arc another time here on this Lina. Force the Walk of Shame. A very nice scan though from Wildcard. Going to give the information over. So Arc knows to back off. And will not get caught out for now. In fact, they'll move in onto Fly on that Mirana. Fly, he does have the leap away and he'll be fine. Though Snowball Abed will happily move in. A nice arrow from Fly. Oh, that's perfect. Arc's going to drop. Flea, he'll try to move in and get something for their trouble, but they are falling like flies here, Wildcard. Oh boy, that's rough.
It's just the lining up for Shopify Rebellion. They get this double damage rune on Abed, just runs up top. again, we've seen Bapetic walk up top 2 times, well, at least the first time. Nothing happened. He just kind of didn't have a rune, didn't really do much, went back to mid. For Abed, that movement just pans out perfectly. He gets the kill opportunity, goes for the instant smoke afterwards, still gets the aggression they want on mid, and they're just shutting down Arc and Bapetic quite well. Like, the moment the tempo is thrown off, Shopify Rebellion will hit a really good tempo on Abed, and even on Saberlight once he's ready to keep his team alive. Like, there's a lot of fight coming out from Shopify that I feel like Wildcard had a lot of potential for pickoffs in laning phase, but they didn't really manage to get out. Like, the moment Flea started to move around, it did feel like Shopify Rebellion had enough from the lanes that the impact just wasn't felt as much.
Certainly so. Very rough position now for Wildcard as looks like they are staring down Sammy again up at that top lane. Sammy going to be all right. They won't make the jump in. Instead, maybe bot lane. Chrono is committed. They'll go right onto Sunlight. Arrow's going to be there to follow up. It's a very hard kind of gank to escape, though. Here comes Bapetic. They'll try onto Arteezy. Pulverizes out Arteezy. He's dropping so darn low, but not quite low enough. Abed will rotate. Looks like Sunlight is still in danger as they do get the Walrus Punch. They got the Sharpshooter, and now they'll go for more. Flea, he just came down. It looks like he is going to be all right to walk out. But a failed gank attempt here onto Arteezy. And eventually Sunlight will die.
That's a beautiful time walk back, right on edge for Arteezy. But he knows his timings, he knows his tempo, and when exactly to push that envelope before Sun faces Void. 7-1 scoreline for Shopify Rebellions. Again, going back to those odds from our partner esportsbet.io, 1.0385 to 9.2 something.
You don't need to rub it in, John. You know.
I mean, again, Wildcard, they do have a draft that does get aggressive early, but I just expected maybe a little bit more from the laning phase. You know, a few more ensnares and LSAs coming out.
That was a bit rude on Bapetic. He just got tornadoed down to the low ground for no reason. These damn neutrals are even against the side of Wildcard, John. Maybe they've been betting. You never know. They took the odds. Guaranteed money, they said. Onto the Primal Beast they go. Walrus punches out. Bapetic. Oh, the arrow's going to be blocked from our Spirit Breaker. Pulverize will be thrown out. A charge forward from Flea, but it probably won't matter as he does drop. Abed will go for more. Trample is there. Into the queue. Bapetic trying to onslaught his way forward, but he is going to drop as now Sammy's here.
Oh, no.
Yeah. At least you've got some music for the dead here in this mid lane, John. Sammy's singing a song for his mates.
Yeah, he came in for a Requiem Mass, that's it. Maybe if it was a little bit earlier, that song would have had a lot more impact. They are buying space out for Arc, to be fair, right? Like, Arc's not the one being ganked, so that is some good news. Your Lina is getting some space to farm into that Maelstrom and try to accelerate its build up onto early itemization. But again, this aggression out from Shopify Rebellion, the fact that the mid-tier one is down 12 minutes in, it does not bode well for Wildcards. Like, you still have to stall for Arc. Playing with the Naga support can be tough. It just kind of comes down to a Song of the Siren now. You might be able to still connect with Ensnare into LSA or just play around as a follow-up stun or setup for your team, but it gets a little bit harder when it's Shopify Rebellion that's always on the offensive here.
Yeah, certainly does. Flea, top lane. Not sure about that one, Flea. He's going to go for a run, but he's caught out. Hell, even without crit, Saberlight would have just dived him.
Yeah, he's got the durability. He's got the mech. He doesn't care for the tier 1 tower. He's got the level 4 Iron Shell.
Got him. Oh, nice chrono. Catches him mid-onslaught. Sammy. Arteezy's farming. Arteezy's farming in the chrono. He's not even hitting heroes. Arteezy, that's too far. That's too far, Arteezy.
Dewarded. Dewarded in the chrono.
Bapetic.
He took the obs down.
Oh.
That's it.
I mean, it makes sense. It does. Get rid of the vision. That's the first. That's 101 in team fights, Jonathan. Always get rid of the enemy vision. Arteezy. He's just following fundamentals here, John.
That is true. I feel like heroes give you a little bit more gold as a core, but on the long-term strat, vision is key.
It's an investment.
It is.
It's an investment.
A very good investment, and the gold goes to his supports, you know? So he's helping out the boys here in Shopify Rebellion. You know, he's helping out Crit and Fly. Always good news. What's not good news is we haven't seen Wildcard take a successful fight from their own initiative just yet, and I think we need to find that. Sammy?
Yeah, Sammy. He'll get caught out. Shards are there. Sammy really got nowhere to go. Crit will hand him the sharpshooter. 13-1 now. 5k advantage for Shopify Rebellion. A very dominant game number 1 so far. As the odds did reflect. Flea going for a bit more. We'll try to Saberlight. The Saberlight's just going to go for a run. Nether Strike never comes out. Wildcard, I mean, they're trying. They are getting aggressive where they can, but they don't seem to have the follow-up. And this is kind of what I was talking about during the drafting stage. It's like, if you don't get off to an amazing start with this mid-primal beast, you've got 0 follow-up.
Yeah, it does feel like the ideal here for Wildcard is to just kind of run around with Babitich and with Flea. And those are your 2 heroes with probably the best mobility to catch up with each other. They're just not really connecting. They need Babitich to kind of build into that BKB first. Shopify Rebellion, they're going for a big smoke here.
Yeah, that they are. In they go. Flea will be spotted. Sammy will also be spotted. There's a snowball in from our Tusk. Arbed, he'll back right out as Babitich does move in for a pulverize onto that Mirana. Fly leaps away. Oh, he's gonna survive. Not like this. And in we go. Shopify, they are not done yet. Onto Sunlight they go. That'll be a Death Prophet gone, surely. Babitich moves right back in. Save a Buddy Syndrome is well and truly alive here for the side of Wildcard, as they'll give a second death away to Shopify Rebellion. And they want more. Arbet's not done. He smells Sammy. He'll find Sammy as well. A double kill for the Tusk. Arc the only one to be able to walk out of this. And another terrible scenario for Wildcard Gaming. Oh no, it's not over, is it?
No.
It's not over. This might be the final arc for the side of Wildcard. John, excuse the pun. It's not looking too good. In we go. Sunlight going to try and save something for his team. Try and get something for his team. But in comes Arteezy. He's got the chrono. Oh no. It just keeps getting worse. It just keeps getting worse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's, rough game for Wildcard Gaming, but again, you know, you look at esportsbet.io with the odds. I think most of the people kind of expected that kind of result here, Mike. Shopify Rebellion, they're a squad that's very experienced. They're a squad that's played with each other for a long time. And Wildcard, Sammy again has managed to take away a game from the ex-EG squad before.
Right.
It's